Not surprised at all. It's who he is. It's who he is. I've always thought that he's a horrible person, and this is every bit of proof.
Baltimore boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend.
Tank is done. Tank is hung him up, shoes off, get the bag, put a plaque up, he done.
Mayweather Promotions. November 14th, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis has officially been canceled. I know that we all speculated that it would be, and I was pretty much for sure that it would be canceled, but now we have official confirmation.
The boxing world has been left stunned as Leonard Ellerbe finally broke his silence regarding Gervonta "Tank" Davis's recent arrest, an incident that has sent shockwaves throughout the sport. The highly anticipated showdown between Jake Paul and Tank Davis, once expected to be one of the biggest crossover events of the decade, has now been officially called off. Yet again, legal issues have thrown a wrench into Tank's career, leaving fans frustrated and the boxing community in disbelief.
Most Valuable Promotions, the promotion co-founded by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian, posted this on social media. They posted that they were officially canceling the fight, saying Most Valuable Promotions immediately initiated an investigation. No, I had the wrong one. Okay, I'm reading this one. Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix have announced that Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis, the one I was reading was the one from late last week, originally scheduled for Friday, November 14th at the Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida, will no longer be moving forward. Quote, our team has worked closely with all parties to navigate this situation responsibly, said Nikisa Badarian, CEO of MVP. While we will not be moving forward with this event, our plan remains for Jake Paul to headline an event on Netflix in 2025. And that is what I'm hearing as well. They want him to fight in December. That is the hope. And they're actively looking for a opponent. More on that in a moment. Details regarding a new date, location, Jake's opponent, and additional bouts will be shared as soon as they are finalized. We thank Netflix, Kaseya Center, Seminole Hard Rock and Hotel in Casino.
Leonard Ellerbe, the longtime promoter, former CEO of Mayweather Promotions, and a key figure in Gervonta Davis's promotional circle, has finally spoken out, declaring that the situation has gone too far. His comments were direct and uncompromising, suggesting that Davis's ongoing legal troubles have made the Jake Paul fight not just unlikely, but downright impossible. Ellerbe even hinted that Tank's entire standing in the sport could now be in serious jeopardy. Meanwhile, reports have surfaced that Jake Paul's team has officially reached out to Ryan Garcia to step in as a replacement for Davis and headline the event on November 14th. Sources claim that Paul's promotion company, Most Valuable Promotions, contacted Garcia shortly after the news broke, exploring the possibility of a new matchup in December. However, insiders note that Garcia's existing contractual commitments could make negotiations far more complicated than expected.
So, as of today, November 2nd, this fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters. And the names that they're looking at contacting to fight as a late replacement, Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, Francis Ngannou, I mean, come on, we'll get into them, and Nate Diaz. So he's already fought Nate Diaz, but let's go through them one by one. I mean, Ryan Garcia, he's a similar size to Gervonta Davis. He's bigger though. Davis made him come down, didn't he? Then he beat him up. So that was Ryan Garcia. Quite a bad loss for Garcia, that was, because he was up for the fight, but Gervonta Davis beat Garcia. Garcia also isn't really big enough to be jumping in with Jake Paul, but that's a fight that potentially could happen. Garcia is a massive name. He's a big he's a social media star. He's a big public figure. Loads of followers on Instagram and social. I mean, his Instagram's over 1 million, I'm sure it is.
Rolando Romero didn't hold anything back after hearing that the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight had been canceled. He slammed the collapse of the stacked card, accusing Paul of chasing spectacle over a legitimate opponent, and even threw down a direct challenge, claiming he would slap him around if the fight ever came to fruition. At the same time, Romero turned his sights on Ryan Garcia, calling him out for dodging a rematch they were both contractually entitled to. Romero didn't hold back, labeling Garcia as unreliable and timid for backing out of their rematch clause, insisting that the boxing world is done with all talk and wants fighters who actually step into the ring.
I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man. Oh, let's make this happen, bro. Bro, I'll be ready in a week. I'll be ready to slap Jake Paul across the face in a week. I will slap Jake Paul across his face. But who cares? I don't care. Roll over Jake Paul 2025, bro. I knocked out another YouTuber. I knocked out. But Jake Paul gets knocked out cold.
Oscar De La Hoya directly addressed the swirling rumors about Ryan Garcia potentially stepping in for Gervonta Davis. He made it clear that no such discussions ever took place and insisted that if serious negotiations were happening, he would be the one to announce them personally. De La Hoya stressed that Garcia is focused on his own plans, signaling to fans not to expect a sudden crossover showdown with Jake Paul. His statement effectively shut down the speculation, serving as a reminder that not every rumor in boxing deserves to be taken seriously.
Asking me about Jake Paul and Ryan Garcia, let me just tell you why this fight is not going to happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. You know, Ryan Garcia is probably going to go on a rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN. You have a contract with Golden Boy. It just doesn't happen that way. So anyway, until next time, we'll see you Saturday for Virgil Ortiz. But again, Ryan Garcia's next fight will be announced.
Most Valuable Promotions, MVP, the company behind the event, confirmed that fans who purchase tickets through official channels like Ticketmaster will automatically receive refunds within 14 to 21 days from the original purchase date. For those who bought tickets via secondary marketplaces or resale platforms, MVP advised reaching out directly to the vendor as automatic refunds may not apply. This policy comes as part of MVP's broader response to the event's cancellation, showing how they are managing commitments to fans. Meanwhile, multiple sources close to MVP have revealed that Francis Ngannou has emerged as the top candidate to replace Jake Paul's original opponent. Talks are reportedly underway to lock in what could become one of the most explosive crossover bouts in recent boxing history.
Globally on DAZN. First off, I'll say kudos to MVP for refunding people that did buy tickets to this event and also navigating this thing with professionalism, which they did the entire way through. You got to give them credit for that. They really stayed quiet on the rumor front and just handled things as a professional company. That's all you can really ask for. Jake Paul has, in the last couple of hours, tweeted idiot, and then God has a plan always. Two things that I think are both referring to this fight. First off, calling Gervonta Davis an idiot, I assume, and then obviously, you know, God has a plan always, referring to this thing is probably going to work itself out. Obviously, this video is dedicated to talking about future opponents for Jake and potential fight dates. I do have something that I don't know if it's misinformation or not, but I'm just going to talk about it here. This is a tweet from somebody named ATalkers5. I don't know how realistic this potentially even could be, but this is from 4 hours ago. They said two of the female bouts scheduled for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis undercard are now scheduled for December 14th.
Francis Ngannou, who shocked the boxing world with his debut against Tyson Fury and later squared off with Anthony Joshua, remains a major pay-per-view draw with global appeal. Jake Paul's team sees Ngannou's knockout power and star quality as the perfect replacement to salvage the event. However, Ngannou quickly dismissed the reports linking him to a potential fight with Paul. He stated he would never take a bout that felt like a publicity stunt, emphasizing that after facing elite boxers like Fury, a matchup with a YouTuber-turned-boxer would undermine his skill level. Ngannou addressed the rumors head-on, insisting that fighters should respect the sport and not reduce it to clickbait entertainment. His firm rejection highlighted both his professionalism and self-respect. Fans praised his honesty, widely agreeing that a fight between Ngannou and Jake Paul would have made little sense, neither competitively nor financially.
And he said, yeah, Jake Paul, you know, he's fighting. And I'm like, no, bro, come on. Don't disrespect me like that. And then they even say like, even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started talk. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It make no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
So there is no dollar amount. It's more the opponent. The fight makes no sense. They could offer you $100 million and you wouldn't be interested.
The fight made no sense. That's what I think. That's my position. And though I went back, I saw,
Placement for Gervonta Davis. We had to go right to the source. What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
no, there's no such of thing happening. Basically, like how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the weight different and everything, it make no sense. The Gervonta Davis, you say, okay, the size different can level up, but at this point, for me to
Recent buzz online suggests that Jake Paul might be shifting his focus toward Floyd Mayweather Jr. as a potential replacement for his canceled bout with Gervonta Davis. Multiple sources indicate that Paul's team has reached out to Mayweather to explore the possibility of a fight. However, Mayweather doesn't seem very interested, calling the matchup too easy and hinting that it's unlikely to happen under normal fight conditions. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, just the speculation is already heating up an already unpredictable boxing scene.
And then if you keep going, you see stuff like this going around, and he's not the only one. A possible replacement for Paul being Garcia. I've seen another article that said that they pitched to Mayweather. I seen that one, and some other big names as well. And I'm pretty sure the people behind Paul got the bag because Paul draws the bag. So they can probably, if Floyd Mayweather commit to it, yeah, you get that money together because you know it's coming back in sales. You know it is. How old is Mayweather right now? It don't fucking matter. That bread is coming back. He's just a draw. The biggest, maybe, right? He might literally be the biggest boxing draw of all time, Floyd Mayweather. So I think that if this is true, that the fight is canceled, Jake Paul is going to end up with a significant...
Thanks for watching Ring Pulse. Hit the like button, smash the subscribe, and stay tuned for more hard-hitting boxing action.